The rainy season has set in and is actually hitting everywhere. Now, here in Edo State and Benin City especially, we've been having a continuous rainfall for some days now. Now, let's link it up with the outbreak of cholera, as so many persons are actually linking this outbreak of the disease to the kind of water we take and the environment we live in. I have some experts here that will be helping us make sense out of this conversation. I have with us Evangelist Great George Ototen. He is the convener, life saver. He's a water analyst and CEO, Longevity Gold International Limited. He's experienced with over 2 decades of analyzing water all over Nigeria, apart from northern Nigeria. Good to have you in the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, sitting very close to him is Right Honorable Oriowugo Precious. He's a medical practitioner, and of course, he is the Senate President of the National Body of the Nigerian University Nursing Student Association, NUNSA, Department of Nursing, University of Benin. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's start with you, Evangelist Great.
All right.
You came in with lots of tools here for experiment, because before we actually came on board, I was actually learning some things from our conversation off camera. Now, walk us through.
Thank you.
What is the, let's start with this. What does contaminated water look like, and how can we know which water to take?
All right. Thank you, viewers. Let's begin by saying contaminated water, in a layman term, means water that is not clean when you look at it, right? If you look at some water, they are brownish, they are not very pure. You look at that water, this water is contaminated. Now, aside from saying contaminated water, there's another set of water we call dead water. That means most of this water that is treated, they were contaminated before purification. Now, they will purify it from contamination or contaminated water to clean water. But in the process of treating this water, the vital natural minerals that would have kept people healthy, that would have boosted our immune system, are lost in the process. All right? Because naturally, water comes with over 70 ionic minerals. But when you treat them, at the end of the treating of that water becomes dead. That means there is no mineral in them
at all.
So what we are drinking now is just to help us quench thirst. All right? Now, there are most people that are going through these cholera challenges, but they will tell you they have been drinking clean water. In fact, from one of the top brands of water. So the question is, how do we know the water that is ideal? All right? So if everybody is running away from contaminated water to the eyes, how about what I have here on this table? We have sachet water here. We have borehole water. We have bottled water. And we have boiled water. All right? So these are all very clean. It looks drinkable. All right? They are all, if I would say, they are good to go if you want to drink them.
For a layman.
Yeah, for a layman. Now, if anybody offers you this, it's okay. It's clean. But I can tell you that most of this water are not the right quality water. In over 15 years of our research across Nigeria in drinking water, we've come to discover that over 95–98% of what we call drinking water is not the right quality water.
Over 98%.
Over 98%. So if it is true that your body is made up of 70% water, now if it is true, according to our research, the blood is made up of, the body is made up of 70% water, the blood is made up of 90% water. Now, a newly formed fetus, that is baby that is formed in the mother's womb, is 100% water. So it means that the man gives 100% water of what he has to the child. That's why most times you hear that a child inherits in a particular health challenge that is running in the family. Understand? So that shows you how important. In fact, after the air we breathe, water is the next thing that promotes good health.
Okay, we'll get back to you in a moment. Right Honorable Precious, help us now. How does contaminated water help in spreading cholera in the country?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So there is a big link between cholera and contaminated water, because cholera is a waterborne disease, and it is caused by the bacteria Vibrio cholerae.
Yeah.
And you find these bacteria in contaminated waters. And so there is a big link between these two things. And reason why, first of all, creating awareness about cholera, you must talk about the water. We use water for almost everything. You drink, you cook, you wash, is it the plates, the clothes, everything. So it is more like you cannot do without water. And so there is a big link between these two things in the issue of cholera. We must watch what we ingest. Just like the water scientist has just said, some of these waters that we take, they look clean, they look good, but then it is harmful, it is dangerous. It contains what can kill us, what can harm us. And so if we must address the issue of cholera, we must talk about water. Even before we go into the other things of hygiene and the rest of them, we must talk about water, because this is basically one of the most common used. So that is it.
Okay, now since we can't go anywhere except we talk about water, let's return back to the water scientist now. Now, we need to identify which is the best water to use. Let's take it up from there now.
All right, what I have on my decks here are different brands of water. Now, this is, I don't know if they can see from there, this is pH chart. This is pH chart. This chart determines the quality of our drinking water, right? Now, it varies from 0 to 14, all right? When we run a test on this water, it will change colors. The color it will change determines the quality of that water. Now, we all know that our water is determined by the quality and our health is determined by the quality and quantity of water we drink every day. Now, if you don't drink enough water, it is possible you'll be dehydrated and you may be sick from that avenue, right?
Definitely.
Now, if you drink plenty of water, like he said, we have to drink at least 8 glasses, minimum 8 glasses a day. Now, some people are not even drinking up to 3 glasses a day, but they will be drinking the right water, but it's not enough to sustain them, all right? So these two things work in pari passu. You have to be the right quality and you have to drink enough water, all right, for the day. Now, if I run tests on this water now, you'll be amazed. There's bottle, there's sachet, there's borehole and all that. Now, I'm going to drop a reagent, pH reagent, that will detect the quality of this water, because the way it looks clean here, you may not know if it is healthy or not. It's only when you run.
If you leave me, I can just walk into the studio and just pick any of the cups and drink.
They are very clean. They are very clean. So you cannot call this water here contaminated water. So if you are drinking dead water, it means that your immune system will not be able to fight off any kind of disease, all right, in you, because water remains the number one thing that sustains your system. In fact, basically, most of the organs have over 80% of water in them, like the heart. The heart is about 83% of water makes up the heart. The brain is 95% of the brain makes up. The water is made up of 95 in the brain. So it means that water is the number one thing that we should consider after oxygen. Yes. So let's run a test on this. I'm going to bring this chart back for us to really identify this water. Okay. Right, so let me drop this, and then I'm going to drop these reagents that will make us know the quality of water we drink in Nigeria. All right, I hope we are seeing this. Okay. Now, this is this represents what we drink in Nigeria. Now, this have really exposed the quality of this water now. Now, if we must be that healthy, apart from drinking contaminated water, now people are drinking clean water, but are they ideal? I can tell you that none of this water is drinkable, right? Now, because none of them have attained 10. If you check here on the pH chart, you see that none of this water reaches 10 on the pH chart, all right? Now, if you cannot get water that is up to 10, it is acidic, some are neutral. So neutral water cannot detoxify your body that very well. But if you check now, this here is better than this, according to the color that I have here. Now, the color we are looking at is deep blue, like this, my attire, or purple, right? That will be able to
That's the safest water.
That is safest water. That will be able to fight bacteria, because bacteria doesn't survive when your body is alkalized. All right. Most people don't understand this, and this I am just praying that the government, everybody should create awareness, let people understand that what they have been drinking, majority of what we are suffering today is as a result of not drinking the right quality water. Your water must be right for your health to be right. Because if you fail 70% in school, if the body is 70% water and you fail 70% in school, it means that your health will fail. Because 30%, no matter how you struggle, 30% that is remaining for you to be healthy will not be able to suppress 70%. So first of all, like my friend here rightly said, that water is so important that if we don't talk about water, we should forget fighting.
And that's why we are back now
to
you. So now with all these colors we are seeing, well, I'm not a water scientist, you're going to explain again. Let's take it one after the other now from the results.
This, let's start with this. This falls under color, I think color 7, right? Color 7 falls like neutral. It is not bad, it is not good. You understand? Now for this water to fight diseases must be more than that. This is like the best out of all of this, right? Okay. Now this one is better than this because this color now is higher. So when you go to this, it is almost like lemon, which is not very okay for body. Now go to this one. This is about like orange. This is okay. This is a little bit better. So all this water now are below average, that someone can say, okay, it is drinkable. Most of the other day we did some analysis on water. We invited people. There were so many that came out. I asked them to bring water from their homes because the water you drink represents you. So bring water from your home. So not look as though I am the one that is bringing water. So they brought all. When I did this awareness, and all of them were now opening their mouth, wow, they were now asking, what do we do?
That's the next question that I'm about to ask now before we get to Precious. So what is the way out?
Now, for over 10 years, we have been using this called Alka-Phos to help bring back life to our drinking water, right? You add a little quantity of this to your drinking water, it will supply the minerals that are lacking. And because the minerals have been supplied, the pH of the water will now increase. The minerals have entered the water now. You mean, when you drink water that is mineralized, that is rich in minerals, it will give the body all the minerals the body requires, like calcium, selenium, chromium. These are all things that make the body live healthier. All right. So if these minerals are lacking, like diabetes, it basically is deficiency of chromium. Okay. So if you give your body all these minerals, the immune system will be boosted. And then when the immune system is boosted, the issue of cholera and the rest other diseases will not be that much again. And that was the secret that helped our grandparents, because they were drinking, though there was no much contamination then, they were drinking from stream, they were drinking from river and all that, and spring water. They were healthier than us.
Now, I will return back to you in a moment. You'll be helping us, because those days you hear people talk about water guard.
Yeah.
You know, you need to add a little pin of salt, you need to boil your water. Yeah. Now we're talking about Alka-Phos. Yeah. Hope in the nearest future we are not going to be talking about something else. But we'll get back to you in a moment. Let's get to our Right Honorable Precious. Now, what innovative water procedure can we use? Do we need technology? Because people who actually sells water, they will tell you we have machine that purifies water. Is it still safe to drink?
So on that, I would say, as much as these people claim that they have machines for purification of this water, there has to be policies. There has to be regulatory bodies to monitor this. it is one thing to say this is what it is. It is one thing for that thing you said to be true. We need more regulatory bodies to regulate most of these water production companies. Because as we have seen here today, some of these water samples here were from the so-called pure water, the sachet water.
Bottled water.
Some were even from the bottled water. Now, when you go out, they will recommend bottled water because they say it's part of those healthy water you get. But now today we've seen that it can be bottled, but still not healthy. And so there need to be more regulatory bodies to regulate all of these people. Because when you even go to the environment where they make this water, you will be so surprised at what these people are doing. The main focus is profit, not the health of the individuals, not the health of those that are outside. All these people are centered about is profit. And this thing is killing our people every day. So we could, as much as technological innovation, we could also use those local methods of water purification. But the major thing here is make sure that the water you are ingesting, the water you are taking, the water you are using to make those food of yours, it is what? Purified.
Okay. So Lokwe is part of this conversation and he's itching to throw some questions to Evangelist Great. I hope we can get Tolu Lokwe on board to get across quickly to Evangelist Great.
Okay. My question has to do with the fact that misinformation out there that is making combating cholera difficult.
Tolu Lokwe, you need to take that again, please.
Misinformation out there that is making combating cholera difficult.
Did you get it?
I can't get that.
Okay, probably we might be losing connection with Tolu Lokwe, but quickly react to what I asked earlier. You know, you are giving us, apart from the reagent, you talk about this substance in this bottle. You know, in the past, you talk about boiling water. You need to boil your water to have clean water. You need to add, we have other stuff, alum and other things, you know, back in the days.
Yeah.
So are we going to move away from there, or we are still going to recircle ourselves around these purification methods?
Now, let's start from the boiling water. While I was much younger, when contamination or unsafe water started, the awareness started increasing, I was told by my parents to boil water and keep it to settle, and then we. Now let me break it down. Anything that you know that boiled water, you have to put it on the fire, heat it and heat it and heat it
to a certain degree
to its before. Now let's bring our minds back. You cannot boil mango and still get the minerals or nutrients in mango, right? Now in those days when we cook vegetable soup, they will not put it for long. They will bring it down. Why would they not put it for long? Because they want the minerals there to still be important to be retained, so that when we eat them, it will give what that thing is for. Now when you cook water, water is a living. That's why they say water is life. The life in the water is the mineral in water. Once you cook it, you have killed the mineral in that water. So what you end up doing is just, you have, let's say you have killed some bacteria. Now the remaining one you are drinking is to quench thirst. At least the bacteria will not harm you. So what we are doing now, how would I do? This is what is available, right? So even drinking that water will not make you as healthy as you should be, because you are drinking dead water, all right? Now when it comes to alum, I used to advise people, when I started research, I used to advise people, I tell them, alum, what alum does to a snail or to snails is what it will do to humans. When you drink an alum enhanced water, so to say, it will enter your body. Where it will go to the joints, right? Now in these joints there are fluids like snail that makes the thing lubricate the body.
Slimy.
Yes, slimy. Now once you drink alum water, over time it will knock off those things. Do you understand? Exactly how it is doing to a snail. That is what it will do to those parts. And now after some time you see that the bone and bone will be meeting. You start having pains, joint pain, because the alum water you've been drinking have removed the thing that was supposed to make that is supposed to make the body flexible for long. That's why you see that when somebody grows, when person grows older, if the person squats now, to stand up is a problem because that thing is started going out. Now, if you want to live that long, drinking water that is enhanced, that is healthy, that is the right quality, you see that those things will still be there. You are 60 years, all right? You still be doing something like 40 years old because you have known the secrets. So if you see somebody now that live up to 90 years and is still jogging, you'll be amazed. What is the secret? Because I always tell people, everything in life, the success of everything in life depends on the secrets that you know. Okay. Somebody will ask an elderly person that is still jogging at 18 years, Oga, what is your secret that makes you, at this age, you are still jogging? Unlike other people that are 60 years, they can't even move from here to here. They can't even climb staircase. So everything depends on the secret that you know. In summary, I will let you know that if you are taking fruit, then I'm taking all the best cooked foods. You'll be healthier than me, fruits. Because these things nourishes your body, makes your body, replenishes a lot of things that is lacking in today's. Okay.
All right, let's talk about campaign and awareness of cholera. How can we enhance our campaign method to ensure that we combat this outbreak?
Okay, thank you very much. So, on this issue of campaign awareness about cholera, reason why we are here today, to make the people aware. So, it is a call to action to everybody out there because this work cannot be done by just one person. As much as the Nigerian University Nursing Students Association are embarked on a cholera awareness campaign right now, other bodies can as well dive in. And I must use this opportunity to thank the Director of Nursing Service, Mrs. Patos Azua, who has supported us throughout this campaign. From the moment we pitched this idea to her, she has been of great support to us. And so I must use this opportunity to thank her. You can be a part of this campaign. You can tell your neighbor something. You at home, when you see your neighbor doing the wrong thing, you can tell them. Now, what is this wrong thing that we're talking about? Initially I told you, let's just first of all talk about water because it is the major thing. Yeah. Now, aside water, the next thing that comes is environmental hygiene and personal hygiene. Most of us, we go out throughout the day and then we'll come back and we just get along with things in the house. You eat with those same hands, you do things around the house without even washing your hand. And so, as part of this awareness campaign, one thing that we must prioritize is hand washing. Okay. Because you could have brought something that you are not supposed to bring home, and then you begin to spread it. And we must also note that cholera is a fecal oral disease, it is passed from the feces of the infected person. And when there is no good environmental hygiene, with this recent flood, what happens? There are people who, they pass feces anywhere they see, in the bush, and now this is the period of flooding, where the flood can bring anything to us. And then you see that we are at risk. So we must prioritize hand washing. We must prioritize environmental hygiene. There used to be this every Saturday environmental day people don't, back then, and it was serious back then, but now people don't do it. Clear the gutters, clear the drainages, clean your environment. Okay. By this way, you are getting rid of this evil that is terrifying us right now. You are getting rid of the Vibrio cholerae, which is causing cholera to us. And we must also take note that if we do not combat cholera in Nigeria and we allow it to become a pandemic, there will be a problem. Because as much as it is being looked, and some people, ignorance is a disease, you understand? Yeah. Ignorance is a big disease. During the time of COVID, people felt there was no COVID. Now, there are still people that will still tell you there's nothing like cholera. But if cholera ever becomes a pandemic, there would be a problem. Because taking the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, for example, we have the ICU unit is just 25 bedded. If it becomes a pandemic, there are most persons who will need to be in that ICU. Now, where do we have the facilities to treat them? Okay.
We will not pray for another pandemic. We knew how COVID erupted and crumbled the economy of many nations, including Nigeria. So look where I'm very sure you're standing by now to have a feel on the discussion.
Talking about the combating cholera right there, there are some information out there that it's also making combating the disease difficult. Can you mention some of this misinformation that are out there that people need to be wary of in a bid to be able to combat cholera?
All right, let me answer that. Say if I can mention some of those measures, right?
Yeah.
That can be used. Like I said the other time, first we need to. I will pray every family has this, all right, in their family. So first of all, we need to be checking the water we are drinking, because this is like we have other instruments we use in running tests on water, right? So, but we need to be sure of what we are drinking. Okay, this is a brand of water I used to drink, this. But out of these three, this one is better. Let's concentrate on this. All right, so we need people to have this in their homes, right? And also we want to encourage people to let others know about what we are trying to educate the people. And also we need to bring in more people, more of our youth, to train them on this so they can go to communities where people don't have access to things like this, to see it, bring them out and tell them this is what is wrong, have this.
So is this accessible?
Yes,
is it the market?
Yes, it's accessible. You can get it anywhere. All right, in pharmacy, just tell them you need pH reagents, all right, to be able to detect the water that we have. Because like we've been discussing, the first factor we need to use in combating cholera is our drinking water. If the water is right, it will reduce the problems from getting worse. Because if it's getting worse and worse by the day, it will turn a pandemic. Now, so the awareness, creating more awareness on the kind of water we are drinking. So before we now start considering the environment, all right, to make sure. And he said something, I think we need to add counting of. I have seen someone count money and he's selling food, all right, at the eatery. He's counting money and he's also
using the same hand to dish food.
To dish food. Now, this money have passed through so many hands, all right, so you don't know how the contamination level of that money before it gets to your hands. As far as you are sweating, it will pick something from that money, so it may affect the food that you are eating. So that's just...
Okay, quickly, Tolulokwe, let's have one more for Right Honorable Precious, then we'll call it a wrap from this end.
Another thing has to do with the fact that let's take a look at government policy in combating it. As government shows sign of intent that they really want to eradicate cholera, because it keeps recurring despite urbanization and civilization. We shouldn't be talking about cholera in the 21st century, but we are faced with it. As government policy shows the side of that they really want to eradicate this disease.
Okay, let's quickly react to that now.
If you ask me, honestly, I would say no. Because just like what Tolulokwe said, it is a shame that at this point in our lives in Nigeria, we still talk about cholera. Now, how has other countries been able to eliminate this? They've made sure of water sanitation. The least thing that the people in the rural areas should be fighting for right now is good water.
Okay.
But believe me, they are still fighting for it.
Okay, let's get to you now, Evangelist. We are going to wrap up now. We are running out of time.
Yeah.
Quickly, what government should do? How government can partner with people like you?
Well, I want people, as much as we can, people that are in power, all right? We have all these politicians. They are in charge of their constituency. It's just like they are representing their people, all right? I would advise and encourage them to tell us, please come to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villages in my constituency and create awareness. Because if they are inviting us to their constituency, it's easier. I don't know their constituencies, but they can sponsor the move to their constituency to help them. Now, I've seen a lot of them, they have done very well by helping their people that were drinking from polluted water before to have access to borehole. All right, borehole, my own, if I tell you the level of borehole people drink, 99.9% of all borehole is not good for drinking.
We don't have boreholes in Nigeria again, if you say this one.
That I'm telling you, that's what I'm telling you, that we need to do something better than what we are doing now. It's not just about bringing out the water from the earth for people to drink.
Something should be done.
Something should be done.
Thank you very much, Mr. Great George Ototin, the water analyst. We appreciate you for coming. He's also the CEO, Longevity Gold International Limited. Thank you very much. And of course, Right Honorable Precious All right, we appreciate you for being on the show.